Hey everyone, this is a quick video of a day in the life of a software engineer. Now, you could make, one of these videos every single day and it'd be different. You'd be working on things different, you'd have a slightly different schedule. But I just picked a random day. There was nothing special about this particular day or whatever. I just said, hey, do you know what, tomorrow we're gonna do a day in the life, and whatever happens, happens. So it's just a normal day, bringing it through it. If you want to see another day in the life, it'll be slightly different. I can guarantee you that. Just let me know. But I hope you enjoy the video. And again, any questions, anything like that about what it's like in Dublin, in Ireland, software engineer, blah blah blah, just stick them down in the comments. Enjoy. I started off with my day like many other people, jumping into the shower, then went from that to brushing my teeth. Then I decided that I was going to head off to the shop, so put on some clothes. But before we went and headed off to the shop, I decided that I needed to make the bed. After that, we leave to go to the shop to go and get breakfast. It's super convenient because the shop is like a 5-minute walk away, so even though it's only a short walk, it's still nice to kind of get out, get a bit of fresh air, especially if it's a nice morning before you start work. And then once we get back into the room, before I start working for the day, I decided that the room was a little bit messy, so I decided to just take a couple of minutes to clean that up. Then after we get that cleaned up, I started to actually do some real work. Started to work on a new story. I got assigned a new ticket, and the new ticket that I got, or the new story that I got, is using a particular part of the code base that I've never touched or I've never used before. I've actually moved company kind of recently, so I wouldn't be familiar with a lot of the code. I've only kind of worked on a couple of different parts, so this was totally brand new to me. So I spent a little bit of time just trying to work things out myself, trying to get the application up and running. And then after a while, when I didn't make any progress, I decided to go and reach out to one of the principal developers, just to kind of help speed me along. We then had our daily stand-up. If you don't know, daily stand-up is just a quick meeting that you have with all the members of your team. Each member just says a couple of sentences on what they're currently doing, maybe what they've done yesterday, and the main thing is if they're stuck on any particular thing, you can bring that up during the meeting, and then hopefully somebody will reach out and help you after the meeting to get you moving forward again. Thankfully, we don't have too many meetings, especially as part of this team. It's really the only meeting we have each day, which is great. You get more time to yourself to work on features or bugs or whatever sort of real work you're doing, rather than being pulled into a lot of meetings during the day, which is great. So again, I continued to work with the principal developer to try and get my system working locally. And to be honest, I spent most of the day doing that with him, and then doing it partially by myself as well. So most of the day was taken up by just getting the thing actually running. And then I also spent some time just kind of walking through the code with him, and then also going through the code by myself to try and figure out exactly how it's working at a high level, so then I can go in and start to maybe debug it at a slightly lower level to find out what the real problem is. So I usually go and take a break at some stage throughout the day. Sometimes I might do it earlier, sometimes I might do it later, but today, for whatever reason, I didn't feel fatigued, so I just kept working through, so I didn't bother taking a break at any stage. So after I finished up for the day at around maybe 7 o'clock or so, I decided that I'd go for another walk to the shop to go and get some food. And then after that, I kind of just chilled out for around an hour or so. Didn't really do much, just took it easy. And then following that, I decided that I'd start to pick up a new book that was recommended to me. It was called Refactoring by Martin Fowler. So it's all about working with legacy code and things you can do to constantly refactor your code, and things you can think about while you're implementing it in the first place to try and make it more reusable, and of course, as the name suggests, constantly being able to refactor your code to make things easier to change moving forward, so you don't get slowed down and that your whole application and your whole code base doesn't turn into spaghetti code or a big ball of mud, and then eventually all bugs and feature development just grinds to a halt. So the idea is it's just to try and follow best practices, things to look out for when you're coding yourself or when you're going through somebody else's code, code smells that you can pick out that may be potential problems later on down the line. So it's interesting enough. There's examples as well, which it goes through. But I spent a couple of hours just kind of looking at some code examples for that, reading through parts of the book, and then at around 10 o'clock or so, I decided to call it a day and just went to bed. You've reached the end of the video. That's a good sign. If you like the video, leave it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and hope you have a good day.